So there are many different types of numbers. Okay, and here we have all these supposed to be filled up by you through the video about all the different types of numbers. Then the video introduced you to negative numbers. Okay, what was the example that they gave over here? The first example. What was it? Money. Okay, money in the EZ-Link card. So give me another instance where negative numbers can be seen. Bank account. Okay, but that's still money, right? What about something else? No. Okay, yeah, math question, yes, but real life context. How you get negative friends? Huh? You mean an enemy, is it? If a friend is a +1, then enemy is -1. I don't know. What friends? What else? When do we see negative numbers? Yeah, but that's still money, right? Credit card. On what? Temperature. Temperature, right? Okay, we see it in temperature. Okay, for example, -17 degrees Celsius. Wow, very cool. Okay, where else do we see negative numbers? Besides money, temperature, where else? Huh? Besides calculator. Time? Do we have negative time? I think time cannot be negative, right? What else? What else? Length? Can length be negative? Cannot. Length cannot be negative. Percentage? Can percentage be negative?
Negative altitude.
Cannot. For example, if a positive percentage is profit, for example, then negative will be a loss of. Or if a positive percentage is an improvement, then negative is you became worse lah.
Altitude.
Altitude, okay, yeah, altitude. Otherwise known as your height lah, above the sea level, okay? Altitude, below sea level, above sea level, so on and so forth, okay? So for example, -3 meters, for example. Okay, now, write down 3 negative integers. Very easy. What are integers? For those who didn't watch the video, you'll be wondering what integers are. Okay, so those who watch the video, you know the examples of integers. Okay, so give me 3 negative integers. For example, -100, -82, -3, for example. Okay, so these are negative integers, examples only. I'm sure you have some other examples that are different from mine. How about 3 negative fractions? Okay, so whether you watch the video or not, you should know. So for example, -half, -3/7, -93/1048, for example. Okay? Just anyhow give a number. As long as a negative fraction. Okay, an integer that is neither positive nor negative. 0. Okay, this one was given in the video. So it is not positive, but it's not negative also. So this is the only integer that is neither positive nor negative. Okay, then here there's an example of who is at the highest, who is at the lowest. Talking about the sea, with reference on the sea level. Okay, so that was done for you. Now let's do example number 4. Bill, he boarded the bus with 90 cents in his EZ-Link card. So the amount before the journey, we've got 90 cents. Then the journey cost $1.50. Okay, $1.50. That is the cost. And now he owes 60 cents. Costs not enough money. Hey, have you ever tried this before? You tried taking a bus with insufficient money. Then what will happen? Did the bus driver say get out of the bus? Can't pay money. Did anybody's EZ-Link card got rejected before? Cost not enough money? Have? Anybody? Right? I think quite rare, right? They allow you to go below 0. That means you owe them some money lah, right? Okay, so in this case, this person owes how much? So he owes 60 cents. So why are they so generous? Yes? What do you mean how are they supposed to pay money? If you, okay, class. If your EZ-Link card shows 60 cents, negative 60 cents, you need to top up lah. Okay, when you top up, let's say you top up $2. then how much will be left in your card after $2? 140 only, because they take away your 60 cents. And then, hey, looks like it's a way to take advantage, right? Use the EZ-Link card until negative lah, then you throw the EZ-Link card away, right? Make sense or not? You cannot keep using until negative like $100, obviously cannot. There's a limit. Sorry? The EZ-Link costs money. When you buy EZ-Link card, they really charge you like $3 or something like that. I can't remember how much was it. So even if you think you are cheating them, you're taking advantage. No, actually no. They have still earned your money already. Okay, next. Number line, these two are done already. Example number 6. Draw a number line for each of the following and mark. Okay, I'm very particular about marking the points, but let's do part A first. Integers greater than 5, than 0 but 5 or less. Okay, so part A, number line must draw with ruler. Okay, I'm not using a ruler over here. You have to use a ruler, you have to use pencil. In case mistakes are done, are made. Okay, so draw a horizontal line with a right arrow head. Pointing to right, indicating that it continues on and on and on. So this is a number line, but there are no numbers yet. Okay, so this is an incomplete number line. Let us put in some numbers as reference. Okay, reference numbers, it's really up to you, as long as you are able to answer this question. Greater than 0 but 5 or less. So minimally, you must show me 0, and you must show me 5, right? So if this is 0, this is 5, then in the middle, what is it going to be? You cannot just leave it as blank. So the most logical numbers to fill in will be 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you draw 1, 2, 3, 4, you make sure that the spacing is the same. Of course it must be the same. You cannot have one unit being very big, one unit very small. So what is the best way? You can use a ruler. Every 2 cm represent 1 unit, for example. 1 cm represent 1 unit, for example. Okay? So 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my number line, but I have not indicated the integers that are greater than 0 but 5 or less yet. So which is the first integer that is greater than 0 but 5 or less? 1. Obviously it's 1. Now how do we indicate the 1 in this number line? Should I draw a dot? Should I draw a cross? What do you all think? Draw a cross. Dot, huh? Okay, dot like this. Can? Do you agree? Look at my screen. Is the dot okay or not? Yes, huh? Really? No, okay. What's wrong with the dot? Cannot see the dot, right? Then how? Make sure a dot is super obvious or use a cross. Now, is this obvious? I'm okay with dots, huh? But you must make sure the dot is really obvious. If I cannot see the dot, if I'm not sure whether your dot is an accident or is intentional, then I will have to end up guessing. And I always guess wrongly when I'm marking students' work. For some reason, I always guess wrongly one. Okay, so don't take the risk with me, huh? Draw a cross that is obvious. Now the other integer will be 2, 3, 4. Can I include 5? Can or cannot? Can I include 5? This is English question. Can or cannot? They said 5 or less, right? So can I include 5? Can, I can include 5. Okay? Now, if I were to extend my number line and I draw a 6 over here, should I cross out the 6? Should I cross out the 6? I shouldn't. Okay, so this is the answer for part A. And then for part B, prime numbers less than 14. So, what is the smallest prime number? 2. So minimally, you have to start at, I think 1 before is fine. Draw a number line. Let's start at 1. Okay, but we know that 1 is not a prime number. Then we've got 2, draw a cross. That's our first prime number. Then we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so this is my number line, and I'm now going to cross out all my prime numbers. Help me check if I made any mistakes, huh? Okay, is yours the same as mine? Is your spacing okay? Okay, earlier on I said about 1 cm represent 1 unit or 2 cm represent 1 unit, right? Do we really have to follow exactly 1 cm 1 unit, 2 cm 2 unit? As long as it looks, I'm not going to take my ruler and measure. As long as it looks reasonable, I will accept. Can? Of course, then in other words, the best way is still to measure lah. Okay, so now question 7. Draw a number line for each of the following, mark the points. Part A. Okay, so part A, we got 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, and 55. Do you want to draw the number line starting from 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? Doesn't make sense, right? So, in this example, we will learn that your number line can have different intervals. Instead of our previous examples where the interval is always 1 unit, we can have intervals of 2 units, for example. But do you really want 2 units as an interval in part A? What's a better interval? 5. Okay, so let's use 5. Starting from, let's say, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Okay? So here, we just need to identify where the points are. 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, and 55. Anything wrong? Anything difficult? Yes? Zoom in, huh? Can? If cannot, then you need to change space, change your seat already. Do you notice a habit that I have from these 3 questions? My habit, what's my habit? But the arrow is needed. The arrow is needed. Okay, I don't use a ruler. That's a very bad habit, because I'm not going to put my ruler here. What other habit do you notice? Okay, I use crosses instead of dots. What other habit? What do you notice at the start and at the end of my number line? Not always 0, but I try to have a value that is before the first cross. You see that? I try to have a value before the first cross lah. And I try to have at least one value that is after the last cross also. Just to let everybody know that, hey, this is really my range. It is not because there's no space or anything like that. It is deliberate that I'm starting over at the first cross and I'm starting at the last cross. Okay, not that you have to do it, but it's just my habit. Okay, next. Draw number line. Okay, showing all the integers from -2 to 2, part 1. Hey, what's this? Is your format like this? Okay, so I think this over here is for part 2. I think there's a printing error. So in that case, let's just do part 1 over here on the side so that we don't confuse ourselves. All the integers from -2 to 2. So we know that you have to start, let's say -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So all the integers. 0 is also an integer. Don't forget. So here's the answer for part 1. Okay? Now that's the easy part. Okay, let's take a look at part 2. Arrange the numbers. So change this to part 2. Arrange the numbers given in ascending order. Wow, English again. So what does ascending mean? Smallest to biggest. Yes, you must know that. During the test, you cannot ask the teacher, what is ascending? What is descending? What is increasing? What is decreasing? You have to know. So, which is the smallest? How do we decide? Do you find it very difficult to compare fractions? You find it difficult to compare fractions? The answer is, sometimes it's difficult. Like for example, which is bigger? 3 over 7 or 5 over 11? Which one is bigger? 5 over 11. Yeah, but it takes a bit of effort, right? To find out which is bigger. Therefore, the easiest way is actually to convert all of them to fraction. You agree? That's right, to decimal. So when you have questions like this, I recommend you convert all of them to decimal. Okay, calculator, please take it out. 1 over 3. Do you know how to key in a fraction into your calculator? Okay, 1 over 3, what does your calculator say? Yes. So, but what does your calculator say? 0.33333, many threes, right? So one way to indicate that will be a dot on top of the 3 to say that it is recurring. Was this covered in the video? Yes, it was. Recurring. With a dot on top, it means 0.333333333 forever. This is negative 0.4, negative 1.7. This is 1.75. Okay, so these are the values. With this, we are now able to arrange them from smallest to biggest quite easily. So here we have part 2, the smallest number, which obviously is going to be a negative number. Which one is smaller, negative 0.4 or negative 1.7? Negative 1.7. What is the next smallest number? Is it 0.4 or negative 0.4? Negative 0.4. The next smallest? 0.3 recurring, right? But I should not write 0.3 recurring because the question uses 1 over 3. So you write 1 over 3. What's after 1 over 3? 0.9. Next, 1 and 3/4. Ken, any questions? Anybody uncomfortable with negative numbers? Negative numbers are, you use the idea of money to help you understand it, or negative temperatures. Okay? So let's continue with part 3. Mark the numbers on the number line, on the number line you have drawn. Wow. Also referring to this number line. Okay, sorry, my mistake. I didn't realize that they were connected. Yeah. So we need a long number line. So my mistake, huh? It wasn't a good idea to draw it over here because they wanted you to put all these numbers in this number line. Okay, so I guess I'll have to do that. Sorry, my mistake. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got in part 1, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so this is the answer for part 1. I just made it bigger only because I realized that I need to put so many other numbers inside here. Okay, I hope I cleared out the confusion already. Now we're going to do part 3, which is to put these numbers in my number line. For clarity, I am using another color. Okay, you can continue to use your pencil, it is okay. So let us find out where is negative 1.7. What are the two integers beside negative 1.7? Negative 1 and negative 2. So negative 1.7 is found somewhere here. But exactly where? Is it closer to negative 2 or closer to negative 1? Yes, closer to negative 2. So when you mark it out with a line, or you mark it out with a cross, make sure it is closer to negative 2. But you don't have to use a ruler, go and divide it into 10 parts. Okay? So here we have negative 1.7. If you find that you do not have enough space, then write on top, negative 1.7. Okay? So that is done. Next, negative 0.4. Between 0 and negative 1. But closer to 0 or closer to negative 1? 0. Just a bit closer. So you can put it as negative 0.4 over here. Next number, 1/3. 1/3 closer to 0 or 1? Who say 1? Closer to 0, right? Closer to 0. Now, it is 1/3. So I hope your estimation is good enough. Try and divide this into 3 equal parts, and you will find that it is somewhere here. 1/3. Write it the same format. Okay? Next, 0.9 over here. And 1 3/4. 1 3/4. Can? Is it clear? Now you know why I don't like to use dots. Crosses are very clear, very obvious.